Hello everybody, this is Getting Wrecked and welcome back to Hard West. So we are doing On Earth as it is in Hell scenario today. And the description is: Florence was taken from you far too soon, but you can still save her, if the devil is to be believed. Destroying Purgatory will require a legendary pose, though. Okay, in the meantime, your father has become a formidable warrior, pursuing his own agenda. So it feels like we will have to face off against our father. Or maybe we team up with him. We'll see. Anyways, let's go on hard difficulty. Enable combat injuries.
All wasn't lost yet. If Purgatory could be destroyed, Florence would be set free. There was just one catch. Only the dead can enter Purgatory. So, to fulfill his plan and upset the order of nature, he needed you, half living, half dead, to do his dirty work. You'd only get one shot at this. To make sure you didn't fail, you set out to find a cadre of legendary gunmen to put together the ultimate posse. Meanwhile, the Undertaker, still searching for some measure of redemption, struck a blow against the evil forces massing against humankind. The enemies that remained came together to end him once and for all. Chased, wounded, and trapped in an abandoned fort, he awaited their final offensive.
Alright. The cult decided the time for attack was nigh. Your father readied his weapon. Right.
The battlefield echoed with rallying cries of your father's enemies.
Interesting. Healing elixir, mandrake root, jinx, chain kill, dodge. Alright. How are we supposed to do this? We can do... how much damage is this? Is this 5 damage? Pistol 4 damage, but we can use fanning. If we stay here we can use fanning. But this guy has us flanked, so... I almost feel like letting him take a shot at us. And just use fanning against Skull Spawn Demon. Might get shot from the flank, but we'll see. From these guys. Okay, yeah, he can see us. Do I have a way out of here, or do I have to stay on top of this fort? Feels like I have to stay up here. Let's hope we can hit with... What? How come this one has such a great aim? 100% chance to hit. Elevation, distance, okay, it's like a perfect distance or something. Chance to hit about 80%, increased to 100. Oh, okay. I mean, I will not have an angle to see them when they are beneath the fort here. Okay, we have a stair here. A ladder. Maybe it's time to use it. Can we see where they are? Right. Let's get down here. Whoa. Okay, should we stay out there? In front? What? I kind of want to deal with this guy since he's closer than this one. That guy might get a good angle at us if we stay over here. Just trying to find angles where they will not see us. Okay. Okay. Seems to be there still. Okay, this is too close, I guess. Yeah. Well, feeling lucky. I was lucky. Yeah. At least we have 11 hit points, so we should be able to take 1 or 2 shots. I'm feeling like we might meet up with Warren. This guy might catch us, but oops. Easy dodge.
The demon was reborn in a flash of burning brimstone. But there was a way to sever its connection to this world.
Take quite some time for us to shoot all those. Anyways, we need to get out of line of sight from the demon and then shoot this guy. Three more cultists and then the demon as well. I kind of hear them inside, I think. Can't kill him with one shot. Let's get up. We should be able to get 100% with our rifle if they are close enough. I hope. Is he still there? I mean, we have removed some of his luck with our jinx. I wonder what this is. Being yellow and stuff. Right, I'm feeling lucky. Come on. Seven hit points. I will take shots here. I'll take fire. So be it. If he stays there, we can kill him the next turn. Right. I get a chance to reload and then kill him, so that's pretty good. There's a demon. Whoa, no, bad. What? You're fine, you're fine. Come on. How can't we get out here? I want to get out and deal with this. I don't think we can hit from over here, can we? Hit that one. Can we hit it with the rifle as well? Yeah. Ooh. We need some more ammunition here. Too bad we can't hit the other ones though. Might be able to hit this if we go up here. Okay, so we're here. He will not have an angle. Come on, come on, come on. Nothing. Oh well. Inside. I'm thinking we should reload and just let him go up here. Could run out here, but then he can just pop his ass back out here. I mean, if he goes up here, we are flanked in this position. If we go here, he has to back up here to get the flank, so. This way we might even be able to shoot these, yeah. Haha, so smarts! He can chase us while we deal with these. And we should deal with them with the rifle since the ammunition isn't as important. Yeah. This gravedigger isn't impressed. Easiest kill of my life. Let's get some cover against this side. And change to the rifle and shoot. Will we be able to shoot all these before he respawns? Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Let's reload in case. Whoops.
Later on, your father questioned a survivor to suss out your location. He revealed where you were headed. Your father, the Undertaker, would confront you there.
Mission complete! Oh yeah. It was time to bring Florence back, which meant you needed a posse hard enough to invade Purgatory.
The first member of your posse would be Jefferson Burns. As a decorated war hero and Indian fighter, you would likely find him in the nearby military encampment. Of course, you were still a wanted outlaw from your brush with the masked man.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So this is our posse, I guess. We need to fill this out. Matthew's Tomb, Army Camp, Faith Trader. Alright. We have some cash. We have a double shotgun. Have a card here. Plus defense and regeneration in shadows. Right. Anyways, so the format for this playthrough will be that I try to begin every episode with a mission and then I do these side missions afterwards. So if you just like to see the fighting, I will catch you in the next episode. If you like to check out these side missions, well, stick around. So, we are approaching the army camp. The camp was nearly deserted, only a couple of sentries remained. Burns was nowhere to be seen. As an outlaw approaching openly would guarantee hostile response. You could take the men out one by one, but it would likely yield less information about where Burn was. So should I sneak or should I kill people? What? Let's sneak. Sneaking past the guards was simple. You saw a sergeant talking with one of his subordinates and managed to eavesdrop on the conversation. It seemed Burns was leading an attack on a nearby Indian village. Though vulnerable, you continued listening. Apparently Commander Burns was a decorated war hero with reputation for risky methods. His most notorious achievement had been to infect himself with smallpox, then intentionally be captured by the natives, infecting them in turn. The resulting plague decimated their population, allowing the army to wipe out the survivors without sustaining a single casualty. Burns had survived, his facial scarring a testament of his bloody-mindedness. You thought about ways to use this information to your advantage. Armed with knowledge, you were about to retreat from camp. You emerged from the gunfight, wounded but victorious. Here we got some supplies. Alright. Dried meat, healing, elixir, musket. Okay. Go to the massacre site and recruit Jefferson Burns. Should we check out these other places first though? Faith Trader. Alright. Some rifles. Shotgun, revolver. 5 damage is nice. Cone shot is nice. Ammunition is nice. Candle of the Dead. Plus 15 aim, plus 4 sight. That's huge. Plus 1 damage, plus 6 movement, minus 1 HP. That's also pretty good. How much HP do we have? 6 HP. It's because of this cracked skull. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to get even less. Even less HP. Let's keep the money for now. And check out the tomb. Matthew's tomb. You arrived at the burial place. It was reputed to belong to one of the 4 evangelists, a gang of 4 brothers named Mark, Matt, Luke and John. A disfigured vagrant sat on the tomb. He presented himself as Necator, a seer. He told you that each of the brothers' tomb contained an inscription that told part of their story. If somebody read the story in correct order, it would reveal the location of the gang's stash. Right, so Matthew, I should almost write this down. So Matthew, this reads, Mark was eldest and others has always followed his orders, but John harbored a secret bitterness. When they finally tracked down the masked doctor responsible for the atrocities, he disobeyed his eldest command to provide cover. Without his brother's protection, Matthew was riddled with bullets. They buried him here. Alright. John's tomb, Mark's tomb, Luke's tomb. Alright. So Matthew's tomb was about Mark and his... that Mark was the eldest brother and they tracked down something regarding doctors. Okay, let's read John's tomb. Let's read John's story. The brothers fell into disarray. Mark blamed John, John blamed Mark, and Luke, who had always brokered their peace, was powerless to reconcile them. Oh, John blamed Mark, and Luke, who has always brokered their peace, was powerless to reconcile them. Tempers escalated until John drew on Mark and another brother fell. This time by the hand of his own kin. It was the end of the evangelists. Alright. So this one is definitely one of the last ones. So this should be the 3rd maybe. And this the 4th. Let's read Mark's tomb. The hearse was not carrying the worldly remnants of the departed to distant soil. Instead, it contained living human parts, kept alive in jars by electricity and eldritch bombs. Mark was resolute. Whoever did this must pay. John and Matt disagreed. For the first time, the brothers were divided. I'm not sure about this. Luke's tomb. Luke's tomb was adorned with a chalice, a symbol of medicine. John drifted alone, rootless and without purpose. Finally, tired of being outgunned and outnumbered, he decided he could not continue. He was on preparing to take his own miserable life when Luke returned, bent on reconciliation. He found some leads on the masked doctors, and the time to strike was now. Alright. Matthew. So Mark was the eldest brothers. Alright, when they finally tracked down the masked man responsible for the atrocities, He displayed his eldest brother's command to provide cover. So here they track down the masked doctors. This is where they speak about tracking down them. So Luke returning. He had found some leads on the masked doctors and the time to strike was now. So the question is this before they got beaten by the masked doctors? Or is this after, like a revenge? This is definitely after after Matthew got killed, and then it's this one. The question is just which of these two that comes first. The hearse was not carrying the worldly remnants of the departed, the distant soil. Mark was resolute. Whoever did this must pay. John and Matt disagreed. I mean, Matthew isn't in this story at all here. Yeah, I will have to check that later on. For now, let's check out the massacre site. A plume of smoke visible from miles away guided you to the site of the pacification. The village was in ruins, littered with body parts. The army had not spared the women and children. The place was deserted save for a single figure sitting on a rock, his head in his hands. You approached him. It was Jefferson Burns. Your mangled visage seemed to convince Burns that you were the devil incarnate. He said he was ready for his punishment. You asked why he would start having second thoughts now after a long, untroubled career of Indian killing. Let's ask him first about the Indian killing. Right. Burns gave a grim chuckle. He had always respected the natives. The story of him infecting himself to wipe out the village was a tall tale his superiors had concocted to inspire the grunts. Burn had always respected the natives, but he had also believed in the power of American authority, until now. Now he no longer had a chance to redeem his sins before he exited this world. You told him he could redeem himself by freeing the souls trapped in Purgatory. He sat silent for several minutes, considering your words. Just as your patience was waning, he grabbed his bundle and his gun, saying a worthy goal like yours deserved a willing servant. He would follow you. As you turned to leave, Burns spoke again.
The next candidates were Randy Harden, a notorious gunfighter, and Henry Persons, a former Pinkerton agent. The local crime lord would know where to find them.
Right. Burns said he had allowed a group of natives to escape, though his men had tried to hunt them down. He was positive some of them had survived and could be coming for revenge. Burns said that if you were looking for them, they would be at their sacred grounds. Alright. Does it mean we should go and kill the Indians or his army buddies? I'm not sure. You said you would think about it. Alright. So I can ask the wizard about Harding in person. Find and kill any survivors at Indian sacred grounds. World map, military authority, tactical support. What? What does that even mean? Nice American flag in the background here. I'm not sure if I should go to the sacred grounds or if I should talk to the wizard first. Let's talk to the wizard first. Your party came upon a circus tent set up incongruously in the middle of the Badlands. As you neared, you saw it was surrounded by armed men wearing clown makeup. A sign read, "The dazzling house of peculiar and strange." Your previous travels told you this was the Allegretto Mystics gang. Their leader, Wizard Allegretto, had a reputation for making things and people disappear without a trace. The house offered all sorts of cheap entertainment. Alright, let's pay them. The show advertised Grunks, a wild beast of uncanny strength. But while Grunks was very hairy and definitely human, his act consisted of lifting increasingly heavy objects. After every feat, the audience demanded more and Grunks obliged. Until on lifting the heaviest object on stage, a loud crack resounded across the tent, and mighty Grunks fell to the ground and was carried away by other strong men. Alright. Let's talk to the wizard instead. A tall, gaunt man introduced himself as Sean Vermillion. He said the wizard was waiting for you and offered you a complimentary drink. A single shot glass filled with a cold yellowish liquid sat on a tray. Vermilion looked at you expectantly. Let's try to drink. Vermilion led you through a dark corridors lined with colorful circus posters. Finally, you passed through the flap door and into complete darkness. Vermilion was nowhere to be seen. You were trying to make out what might be in the dark room when, with a heavy thunk of machinery, a single spotlight appeared. A tall figure stood in it wearing some sort of cloak. You wanted to walk towards the figure, but your legs didn't react. You just stood there, watching. A sudden flash of light blinded you, the shock making you fall into the ground. When you opened your eyes, the room was brightly lit by floating orbs of cold blue light. A short, bold man wearing a long robe and strange eyeglasses stood above you. Sean Vermilion stood behind him. The small man presented himself as Wizard Allegretto and claimed he had business with you. He told you to nod your head if you wanted a lengthy explanation, or shake it if you wanted him to cut to the chase. Let's nod, whatever. The wizard smiled and commended you on the choice to accept the drink. It meant he didn't have to resort to violence to make you listen to him. He said he knew who you were and who you were looking for, and that you should give it up. The wizard considered Harding his property and said the man was currently detained where he belonged. Persons, though, was a different matter. Wasn't Harding the one that the father took with him? I think so. I wonder if... I mean, we had the choice to accept Harding with the father. If we hadn't accept Harding into our posse, would we be able to recruit him as the son now? I'm not sure. Henry Howard Person used to work in the Pinkertons Special Division, but several years of his service were blank. The wizard assured you Person was quite insane, but he found the man fascinating, especially his obsessive search for pieces of a specific meteorite. Apparently no law of property or human decency could stop him in his quest to acquire these pieces. He was the ultimate collector. Therefore, the wizard continued, if you wanted to contact a person, you needed to find pieces of meteorite, and you were in luck. When the meteor traveled through Earth's skies, it left a trail of debris in this very area. All you had to do was to obtain some of these pieces in whatever way you deemed acceptable. 4 pieces would be enough to attract the strange man's attention and make him emerge from hiding. The wizard said, okay, how does this guy know all this stuff? Okay. Queer fellow. On the way out, a queer fellow tapped you on the shoulder. He said something about recognizing a fellow connoisseur, then bit hard into your flesh. Okay. You pushed him away. He quickly retreated, tipping his hat for the rest of the day. You had a strange aftertaste in your mouth. Did we just get bitten by a madman? Alright. Walk wagon. Expanded army man. Arroya's tannery. Church. Cougar trails. Brothel. Well, we are heading for a brothel. Perhaps we should read this first. Collect meteorite pieces in nearby location. You arrived at a well-maintained farm composed of several large bungalows, all with extensive red lighting. Emma Bye-Bye, the poacheress establishment, was known for its security. The place was guarded by the same women who worked the clients. Only a fool would cross them. Alright, let's go to the bar. The bar was about as busy as the private rooms, with the women working both as bouncers and waitresses. You noticed some wakers sitting around the table. If you were picking fights, then fellows would be in a heap of trouble. Apart from them, though, it was mainly old ranchers gambling and sipping the booze. Okay. You asked the barmaid if the name Randy Hardin rang any bell. I don't think Randy Hardin. Let's see what they sell first. Stimulants. Movement and the maximum. No, movement at the cost of maximum HP. Shaman pipe. Maximum luck. Nothing interesting. Let's go back to the bar. Should I ask about this? I might get into a fight with these guys though. When the girl made a face, you knew you hit the jackpot. She pointed to a building across the farm. Harding was there, she said, detained on orders from the wizard himself, which no one could figure since Harding had been the wizard's lieutenant for years. She pulled you in close and said she thought it was because Harding was a diseased husk of a man, no longer fit for any real job. She said if you wanted to see him, you should talk to Madame Bye-Bye. Her breath hot on your neck, she asked whatever you wanted, anything else. Okay. Let's go. Should we go to the lobby? Nope. Let's ask about Madame here. James Rusk, Emma Bye-Bye's assistant, let you through the door and followed close behind you. The room was adorned with papier-mâché decoration and china. In the center of the room, like a dare, stood a massive safe cabinet. You heard someone clear her throat and turned to see Emma Bye-Bye looking at you disapprovingly. You asked about the price of Hardin's freedom. Okay, Emma Bye-Bye looked at her assistant and they started giggling, and then burst out into laughter. You were tempted to shut their mouth with a gun. Seeing your consternation, Bye-Bye explained. She only did business with important people. You mentioned your role in the Masked Man untimely death. The Madame said that Harley, compared to being a trusted ally of the wizard and the leader of a feared and respected organization. You wonder about whether she was confusing the word ally with henchman. She looked at you this passionately as she lit a cigarette on a long slender filter. She asked why you were interested in a worthless son of a motherless goat like Hardin. She inquired as to whether you ran a charity for cripples and hobos. With lightning swiftness, you pulled the assistant's gun from his holster and shot him in the stomach. I think that's a bad idea. Let's just say no. You can still shoot him. Alright, so we can bring Harding out of this brothel. We might have to do fighting then. Otherwise, we can go to the sacred grounds and deal with the survivors. So I think I will end this episode now, and in the next one, I will see if getting this Harding people guy, if that's a battle. Otherwise, we go here and do this battle. But thanks you guys for watching this episode, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.